Hello and welcome to the Footy Social episode like 10 or 11 now. Something like that. We've lost track of episodes. But anyway, today we've got Ryan on, who's a Wolves fan. So we're going to be starting off talking about Wolves. And then we've got Prem predictions and we've got quizzes again as well. It's going to be, I haven't told the two lads here because I'm going to be the quiz master today what the quiz is going to be about. But it's going to be, the whole quiz is going to be on this season. So it's going to test your knowledge over the last year of football.
Right, okay.
And then after that, we're going to be doing our end of season awards, which might be a different video. I'm not sure yet, but if it
depends how long
this is. Yeah. So the end of season awards might be on the next video. So if it is, then just go check it out on there. If it's not, then it'll be at the end of this video. But yeah, obviously we'll start off with Ryan. He's new to the channel. Ryan, Wolves.
Yeah.
It's been a strange one, hasn't it?
It's been an interesting season, yeah.
It's been a strange one.
Not what we hoped.
No.
But from what's happened, we'll take it and move on to next year.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah. Well, I mean, it's sort of, it's like last year you didn't qualify for Europe anyway, so it's not like you sort of massively regressed. Obviously, you had a much better season last year.
Seventh, yeah.
Was it seventh?
Yeah.
So
missed out because Arsenal won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, what were your expectations for this year? Was it Europa League?
It was always going to be difficult, but that was the aim, was top 7 again.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose 7th is conference.
Well, what did you finish the year before? 7th again?
Yeah, 7th both years.
So 7th both years. So surely you're going to have to be pushing surely you want to bet at that. So you would have maybe 6th this season if you were really looking at realistically.
Yeah, 7th was like what we were sort of expecting, hoping.
Yeah.
But
anything better is what you're hoping for.
Yeah.
And you spent quite big in the summer compared to most other seasons as well.
Most of it was on a couple of pairs, but yeah, no, we did spend a lot.
You got, was it 45 for Jota?
Yeah.
So you got a lot of money for him.
Although with Liverpool, we only got 5 million of that up front.
What?
The fee's been paid over 4 years, and we only got like 5 or 6.
Didn't you also pay like 20 million for Hover at the same time as well?
We paid 8 million for Hover.
Oh, okay.
I think it might have been. I think they might have given us 8, so we got because Liverpool actually have no money in the summer, so it's like we paid them what they paid us up front.
Yeah, that's why they didn't go for Werner.
And the rest of the Jota transfer fee is over the next 3 years.
Right.
So
I mean,
what did you spend in Werner? Like 5 million up front, or did you just
we just paid the release cost. It's 47, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's about that. Yeah.
I
feel like you got stiffed in that deal then. I mean, were you gutted to see him go? Because
when we got 40,
when
we got 40 million, our entire fan base was like, "How have we done that? Off you go, enjoy Liverpool."
Yeah.
Now it looks silly.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the 40 million pound player last season.
He was inconsistent, wasn't he?
And equally, it's opened up the space for Neto to come into, who's been our best player this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have been in the squad without Jota's going.
No, I feel like Neto is the one who suffered the most from Jimenez's injury, really, wouldn't it? It's sort of just
them two were linking up well at the start
him and Traore.
Yeah,
because
there's no target man to focus
all of Traore's assists were Jimenez headers.
Just whipping the balls into the box and
Jimenez completely lost.
I'd say before his injury, he's one of the best strikers in the Premier League. No doubt, consistent. How many goals did he score last season?
17 or 18.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, he's just a proper striker, wasn't he?
Yeah, like Chelsea would take fully fit Jimenez any day of the week.
Absolutely, he's got a bit of mobility about him as well, which you don't
he's
really expect most of the time for a target man.
Yeah, no, he's got everything.
Yeah, well, George Johnson asked that sort of question. He just says, "What went wrong with Wolves this season? Is it simply down to Jimenez? Would you attribute maybe 90%, 70%, 50% to that Jimenez injury? What would you attribute it to?"
I'd say 75%, I suppose, because we were 6th in the league after that Arsenal game where he got injured.
Yeah.
Even though we weren't playing well, we were still up there in the table.
Do you reckon with Jimenez fully fit, you could have got Europe? I know there's a lot of teams around there. How many points how many points are you on at the moment?
45.
So you're
like
about
13, 14 points.
Yeah, but Jimenez is the sort of player that pushes you on for those 13, 14 points in the season.
He was our top scorer until about 2 months ago. And he hasn't played since November.
Who's it now, Neto?
Yeah, Neto got one ahead of him.
Yeah.
But even now Neto's our top scorer on 5 goals.
Oh, there's a team that's worse than Chelsea.
It's almost as bad as ours. I mean,
Jorginho has 7. Are they all penalties?
Oh, every single one's penalty. Yeah, open play's got 6 goals. I feel like I feel like you absolutely could have, considering there's so many. I mean, even Arsenal are like somehow only 1 point behind, like 6th at this point, aren't they?
Arsenal have had a good end to the season. I think it's because they've just played without any pressure.
Yeah,
like,
just sort of the
when
shackles
Arsenal play pressure, they're all over the place. Like Europa League, and when they've games they need a win, they don't win them. But now they're like, we don't actually. Who cares? And they're actually playing quite well because there's nothing. There's nothing in the back of their heads. It's like Arsenal mentality in the last 15 years. It's just ruined everything they've done.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Wolves.
What would you say the other 25% is then?
Nuno.
No, I was about to say.
The
I feel
tactical. It's not just like the switch to back four hasn't helped because he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, but
has he always played five?
Since he's come in the Championship, we played five back.
Five. Even what was his previous jobs? Does he play five then, or do you know?
Valencia and Porto, he's been at. I don't know if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But it's not just the switch to the forward. Tactically, it just hasn't been as good this season. As you've probably seen, we've been really defensive. Really, really defensive.
I always thought, the other thing is, even when you were doing well, I always thought you were quite defensive. But that was only because I ever really watched you in the big games. I didn't really watch you in the other games. But in the big games, it was tend to sit back and hit on the counter with Traore.
As a Chelsea fan, we always park the bus.
They always play well against Chelsea, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely beaten us more than we've beaten them since they've been back in the league.
That was 2 seasons. You drew 0-0, wasn't it, at the Bridge, and then they beat you at
2-1. In your first season.
2-1 this season.
Yeah, you beat them 2-1.
Yeah.
I think the only time we beat them was the
double over them.
No, we did the Tammy hat-trick. The Tammy hat-trick was the only
yeah.
time we beaten them.
And then you beat them at the Bridge last season, didn't you?
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah.
But we always did well against the big teams because we sat back and counted on them.
Oh yeah, Man City were like you're their bogey team.
Yeah, I think you were the first team to do the league double over Man City or something.
Last season, yeah.
Probably Guardiola in the Premier League.
Well, I think Conte did it the season before.
Well, Man United.
There was two other teams that done it.
Sorry.
Yeah. Would you also attribute it down to some of your key players are getting quite old, like Moutinho? He's getting old now, and Patricio.
Yeah, Moutinho is. You can tell with Moutinho his legs have gone.
Yeah.
Like all that sort of dirty work that you do, getting all over the park. He doesn't cover the same ground.
Especially in like a midfield too. It's so important.
Especially with him and Neves. Neves doesn't do much running. He just gets the ball and plays a 40-yard pass out to someone else.
Yeah. He's not like
it's sort of like Jorginho's got no mobility, but Kante, when he plays with Kante sort of makes up for it because he's worth about 2 players. But when you've got Neves and Moutinho,
they
both
quite
static,
static.
Moutinho did do all that work before. Like last 2 seasons, that's what he's done. But this season,
when you've got Traore just hit the balls into, it's quite easy to play like that. But
it's also partly like we have had him and his injury, but we've had a lot of other injuries as well. Like in the midfield specifically, Dendoncker. He was really.
I like Dendoncker.
Not anymore. He was really good. He used to be he was one of the most underrated players in our team. Always gave us a 7-8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like doing all the work that Coutinho would do, just running around the park. And then he's got his injury late last year, like October, November. And since he's come back, he just doesn't look the same. It's not even the physical side.
Is he in the Belgium squad? Because I know that's been announced.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's not even the physical side of him though. It just seems to be like his touch and his passing just seems to be so off since his injury. And
I always quite like Johnny as well. Your left back. He's been injured quite a lot. Hasn't he?
Yeah, he came back from an ACL, played 4 games, did his ACL again in training. So
Well, if you look at the replacements as well, it's not like Nuri, not good enough. Fabio Silva's young and not good enough at the moment.
I mean that Marcel they got from Lyon.
Marcel's made it last. Like he's played about 3 games.
And who's your replacement in the middle? Is it Vitinha? Has he been harshly dealt with not being played enough? Do you reckon?
He's looked good, but he's not had enough game time.
Yeah.
I feel like he just doesn't really fit. Does he fit the formation? I feel like that's probably the
was
issue.
It maybe when I know when Jota joined, when Neto joined, there was obviously you had like that Jota, Traore, Jimenez front three that he couldn't break into, and it's sort of like this Neto looks all right, but doesn't play enough, and it might be the same thing with Vitinha. You don't know. Maybe next season when Martinho's legs go, they've got a lot of players with the same sounding name. When Martinho's legs go,
it's all the Portuguese boys.
Yeah.
Maybe Vitinha can slot in there nicely and just prove himself because he's still young, isn't he, Vitinha?
Yeah, he's 20, I think.
So he's got plenty of time on his side.
He was one of Portugal's better players in the
not write him off. You give young players more of a chance.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody offered you right now the chance to get in a different manager over Nuno, would you take him?
Pause. Basically, we filmed this episode on Thursday night before the Nuno news got broke by Wolves that he would be leaving at the end of the season anyway. So I apologise if some of the stuff we waffle on about after this sounds a bit stupid because, he's leaving anyway. But yeah, sorry about that. We're not psychic, but hope you enjoy.
It's really hard that I would like a new manager. I would like a change, but all the managers we've been linked to have been so underwhelming. Like Gattuso, yeah, and then there's a lot of like Portuguese ones like Bruno Lage, the old Benfica manager.
You wanted Jesse Marsh, didn't you? But now he's gone.
Yeah, but that was just me hoping someone like him. I don't think that we were ever going to get him.
Yeah,
but it's all the other like looking at sort of it's just managers on Nuno's level, other Portuguese managers that have done decent, but like not done the top level.
I feel like you could probably try Nick Hasenhüttl, couldn't you? I feel like you got a bit. You got a lot more money than Southampton.
Yeah,
potentially, yeah, but.
They would want like 20 million if you're going to do that, unless
his
his contract's running out like next year or something.
At this point, I'd probably give Nuno the summer and then till December and see.
You've got to give. In my opinion, you've got to give him because he's been unbelievable what he's done with you.
Yeah.
I know you've had a lot of money helping you get out of the Championship, etc. But you want it in.
Yeah, but it doesn't always work, does it? Like QPR, had a lot of money injected and they completely failed every time they come up to the Prem. So you still got to have a bit.
In his first season, got you into the Europa League, got to the quarterfinals. Like as a Wolves fan, sorry, not for that. If we did that next season in the Europa League, if we get there, fingers crossed, we'll talk about that later. I'd be over the moon. And then this last season, 7th spot, you're very unlucky not to get Europe because Arsenal won the FA Cup. We've had 2 great seasons. This season's not been as great. Just to sack Nuno after one bad season, I think. I know Chelsea probably would do it, but they're a different run club. Would be a bit erratic. I think you've just got to give him another season. If he's not great next season, if you're in the same sort of situation, maybe 14th and not looking that great, I think maybe that may be time to go. But you can't write him off for what he's done after one bad season. It'd just be a bit erratic, and like I said, it'd just be. What do you think? Do you sort of agree?
I'm really on the fence with this one because the thing is like, since Jimenez got injured, I know that's a big if, but since then. If you take out the 10 games before that and then add 10 games at the end of the season, we'd be in a relegation battle. We'd be in 17th. Points wise, and the amount of points we've got since that injury, and obviously it's a big injury to lose, but the fact that the manager can't get anything out of the team when one player gets injured is slightly worrying. And he's got his
he's your best player. It's like Liverpool losing Van Dijk.
He got his own striker. Willian Jose with his striker, that was his choice. If he got in.
Yeah, it's the January transfer window. I bet you Willian Jose wasn't his first choice. It was like, right, let's who's available. The owners probably gave him a price for players.
He's only on loan, isn't he?
Yeah,
probably
an option. But
so it was probably a loan. Everyone who was up for a loan and option, Willian Jose is probably the best option. Yeah. So Nuno might have picked him out of the best of a poor bunch, really.
I feel like it's quite a shame this season because I feel like you not getting Europe last season. I thought at the time well this could actually be quite good. Just having one game a week next season could sort of help you then push on. I remember when we finished 10th and it was it's a disaster. But the next year, because we were only playing one game a week, we just played the same 11 every week and we ended up winning the title because you didn't have that distraction. So I feel like you could maybe just try that again next year when you get Jimenez back.
Genius.
Pardon?
And Conte's a football genius.
Conte was unbelievable that season, then ruined it. But yeah, I just feel like next season, if you get Jimenez back firing, and you've got one game a week, you don't have Europe to worry about, I feel like, you could be back on the up. So all this negativity may be for nothing, but I don't know.
Jimenez is the big if.
Yeah.
Because obviously we don't know how he's going to be when he comes back. So he had a medical exam on Tuesday, so he's been cleared to play from next season. He's got to wear headgear, which is all fine. It's just the mental side for him.
Yeah, it's all mental, really. If he's going to be the same player after big injuries, not many players are.
Yeah, he obviously is a very all-round striker, but he was a very good header of the ball, and he scored probably 5 or 6 headers last season.
Yeah, that's going to be his goal tally's cut into 10 from 17 to 10, isn't it?
If his heading is really that affected and he is that bit less aggressive in a header, then he might not be quite the same player. But
okay, so we're talking about next season. I'm going to first ask you. You've got, I don't know what your budget is, but what do you want to see brought in and transfer wise, and maybe because I know you want to change, you want to play 4-back next season.
Yeah, well that's what links into some of these questions we got.
Yeah,
so we've got Jacob Hearn saying what needs to be improved for next season, and sort of the similar sort of question. Edward Rook says, what do Wolves need to reach the next level? So what would you say is imperative?
What players? Give us some names. A centre back that can defend, because Cody, Sice, both midfielders.
Yeah,
they're both naturally defence midfielders.
Yeah,
playing in a back 5 you could get away with. In a back 4,
no,
it's horrendous. Neither of them know where they're meant to be.
Liverpool tried it with Henderson and Fabinho as well.
Yeah, both rash. Or
they're both quite slow as well, aren't they?
Cody's incredibly. Cody in the middle of a back 3, pace isn't a big issue. As soon as he gets back forward, he gets like Chris Wood was outrunning him.
Yeah.
Like
Was that for the
4-0. Chris Wood ruined it. So, first thing is a proper big good centre back that can play alongside Bolly.
Yeah.
I mean, have you been linked with any?
Not recently. It's all been old links. So got linked to Tapsoba again,
Right.
but we were linked to Tapsoba before he went to Leverkusen. So I think that's just a recycled one. Apart from that, there's not really been any.
Who would you want then? Looking at some players that maybe could realistically, or players that could be available. I know there's probably some players in the Portuguese leagues that you probably look at more than me and Dan because you linked with them every window.
I feel like there is a bit more realistic because I feel like if Wolves wanted to go and spend 40-50 million on a centre back, they could, which is a benefit that not a lot of other mid-table clubs have really.
I don't know, we'd never do that.
I don't know if we will though, because last January I think we were linked to Ruben Diaz. Yeah. Don't like saying it now, but we were heavily linked to him.
Do you reckon he would have gone if you had put
would,
some money on the table?
I think he was happy to come to Wolves, but we wouldn't pay the 60 odd million what it was for. Which now is like.
Yeah, I wouldn't have paid it, to be fair.
Yeah, but that is 60. I feel like 60. I mean, you're happy to spend 40 on Fabio Silva, but not 60 on Ruben Diaz. So I feel like 30 to 40.
And what did you need more last season? Centre back or a striker when Jimenez was fit? Like,
Centre back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what was the point of spending 40 million on a striker who's not going to play?
Our entire squad has been massively improved in the 3 years or 2.5 years since we've been up in the Championship. We haven't bought a single centre back. We made Bolly's loan permanent.
Oh yeah, he was in the Championship, wasn't he?
He was on loan, yeah, made that permanent. Apart from that, we haven't signed a single centre back.
Yeah,
so
I think that's another reason.
We've essentially got a Championship defence.
You're terrible defensively. I've watched you a couple of times this season. Terribly defensively terrible.
Especially for a defensive coach as well, isn't it?
Yeah. You scored 7 goals against you this season.
The 4-0 at the start, that was, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
But the 3-2 was last month.
Yeah.
That just showed all the defensive frailties. Like, Lingard absolutely just ran rings around
that was like
the entire defence.
Yeah, that was just like Cody and Sice or Boy, whoever it was, can't remember, just not being able to keep up with the pace of our counter-attacking in the first half. And then once we sat back and like let you come onto us, which we did for like the Leicester and the Arsenal game as well, the defenders were under less pressure, so it meant you could play you a bit better and you scored 2 goals. But
that would be the big thing, is a proper good defender to come in and partner Bolly in about 4, or go with Bolly and Cody in about 5.
Yeah.
But
you could have had Diaz. Oh.
Yeah, no. Well, we could have. It was that. I think it was last January, because it was when Bolly had a broken ankle, so we didn't have any defend. Like, our best defender was out, so we were looking at.
Can you try playing Dendonker at centre back?
Is that when you got?
We were looking at.
Oh no.
No, we were looking at Diaz and Tapsoba. Those were the 2 we were
Did you get anyone in?
No. We ended up. Well, this is the comes on to my other point. Nuno needs to needs to realise he can't have such a small squad. He loves.
It worked for that first season. They probably used about 14 players all season.
He loves his like 16, 17, 18 man squads.
Yeah.
But like
it's a bit like Ollie. Ollie's a bit like that as well, isn't he? He just doesn't trust his bench whatsoever.
Well, I would say it's like Moyes. Moyes doesn't like that. It's just the owners are stingy. So we've got about 15 good players, and the rest of them are average.
Yeah.
And when there's a few injuries, is when we dip in form.
I mean, would you buy a Moutinho replacement?
Another centre mid that could be.
I think we do need a proper centre mid. I'd like to see Otasawi give more minutes.
What about that Sergio Oliveira
from Porto?
Yeah, I like
looks
him.
a good player, but I don't.
He's just that sort of move I can see happening.
Yeah, we need that sort of box to box, sort of all round.
He is that, isn't he?
I suppose he is. Yeah.
He's a bit more defensive, but
yeah, I feel like he'd be quite similar to Neves. Like
maybe he could be a Souček sort of role.
Yeah,
he's quite good set pieces as well. I know he's a penalty taker, free kick taker as well. Actually, he's probably better on the ball than Souček.
Against the smaller sides, I'd like to see Vitinha. Not smaller, but the ones we should win. I'd like to see Vitinha.
Teams that are near the bottom.
I don't think Vitinha is an out and out 10. I think that's one of his problems. I'm not sure if he's a 10 or an 8.
But you don't really play a 10, do you? You sort of play 2 centre mids and then wingers.
We have lately. We've been playing 4-2-3-1.
Oh yeah.
So sort of. But I think we've got.
Who's been playing a 10?
He's played it.
Gibbs
White's had bits, and Gibbs White looks so much more comfortable in that 10. Like Vitinha.
Yeah, I remember when Gibbs White first broke through. I thought I was really impressed with him, sort of.
He was really.
Then he just sort of disappeared for ages.
His breakout game was against Chelsea.
I think that's probably what stands out.
Yeah, and he was really good. And he had a couple of games against Arsenal and Tottenham after that.
How old is he?
He's still only 21, I think.
Really?
And Swansea fans loved him when he was on loan there.
The
you had to take him back and judge it.
Under 17 World Cup. Me and Ryan watched the highlights for that recently, and that was a great idea. Gibbs White looked really good for that, but he was playing with Foden, Brewster. Hudson-Odoi was there. Was Conor Gallagher there?
Yeah,
I think he was.
Yeah. Mark Gay.
Mark Gahey was the
Sancho was part
captain.
of it.
Sancho was there, but he got recalled to Dortmund halfway through.
Yeah.
So yeah, we used to talk about signings. What if you have a good window? What's your target for next season? I know it's difficult saying because you don't know what the window's going to be like. If it's a poor window, you might say top half. If it's a good one, you might say push Europe.
I'd like to say Europe.
7th again. Try and get back to where you were.
The Conference League would be like
7th.
okay, yeah, that's good. Like back to sort of. I just worry that if we don't do something a bit more though, like someone like Neves is going to go.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to hang around.
I feel like he's like a Man United signing now.
Yeah,
He's been at U for a while now.
Yeah, he joined. It was him and Jota came in the Championship and ripped it up.
Yeah.
And Josh has obviously gone to Liverpool. I feel like he's not going to want to hang around much longer because he is a Champions League level player.
Yeah.
And in a good team, he'll look.
He started off slow this season, I thought, for me, but I think he's still showing his class.
I think he's sort of getting like the Jota disease, where he sort of stagnates because the team around him is sort of stagnating a bit, and then you sort of think like, oh, he's gone off the ball or he's regressing, then he'll move on like Jota and just come back into form and start showing off that he was actually good. It was just sort of, there was just no path for him to improve at Wolves. I feel like Neves might do something like that if he moves to a Man United or something.
If he goes to a big club, I would expect him to look really good because he hasn't got that forward options at the minute. He can't. Him and Jota linked up so well as well. That was part of it. Like the amount of times he put it over the top to Jota.
Surely Traore sort he can put balls in for him.
Traore doesn't really make runs.
He just doesn't really have a footballing brain.
No,
he just gets it and kicks it and runs. Yeah.
He prefers getting the ball about 40 yards from the byline.
Yeah, and then running with it instead of running onto it.
Because you can't stop once he's full speed, you cannot stop him unless you kick him.
Yeah.
I mean, the only person that stops him is himself, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I still think sometimes he runs too fast because there was a thing like he did some training with an Olympic sprinter who was like go at 70% because when you're at 100% you can't he doesn't have the time because he's too quick, so I think he needs to slow it down even more sometimes, but he does. But like when he was just going up full pelt just getting it in, he would just whip it into the box wherever. That's where we needed Jimenez to head it in because Jimenez can head and he would have the movement for it. Jose just stands there and hopes it hits him. Silva's not strong enough.
Yeah. Obviously, Dents isn't going to be winning anything, isn't it, Thompson?
Well, we need a backup centre mid for Sushik and Rice this summer, so Neves, if he wants to come play in Europe next season, come over down to us. Of course.
How much would you get for Neves now?
40. How much are you getting for?
15.
I reckon 40 mil is fair.
See, this is the thing.
You want more because
last summer it would have been about 60, wouldn't it?
Last summer there was talks of like 80.
Yeah.
But last summer there was talks of Traore for like 100, which is
that was
frankly ridiculous.
These prices go up. They're literally there to be like they're not for sale. No one's paying 100 million for Traore. No one's really paying 680. For Neves. So it's basically you're not for sale. If you pay it, then
with Traore,
to pay that for
Traore this summer, if someone gives us like 50. I'd probably put your hand up for it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to go for 50.
I think we struggle.
No, Traore's now 25.
30,
yeah.
And suddenly we signed him for 20, so suddenly there's not much of a
his
profit
numbers
there.
aren't good enough.
And we might be better just keeping someone like him because he can absolutely change the game.
Yeah. I think you'll be all right with Neves this summer, just because I don't think he's had the best year. If he was just like head and shoulders above everyone else, and you could clearly see that he was too good for the team, then you could probably see him leaving. But he's not looked that this season. He's looked good, but he's not looked amazing. So I think another year and then see what happens. He's still quite young as well, isn't he?
He's 23, I think.
So let's talk about one more. We got a question actually.
Well, this is a very specific
topic
question.
After that I want to ask you about.
Very specific question. Charlie Sargent says, "How did you do the double over Leeds?"
Honestly, we got quite lucky. I don't know if you've seen the second game at Molineux, but it was just nothing happening at all either way, and Traore just hits a long shot, which hit the bar.
Is that, I can't remember any of the games. Was the Wolves lead Molineux won earlier in the season?
No, the Edinburgh one was first. That was when Jimenez scored a deflected shot, 1-0.
Yeah.
And then
that's when teams probably expect you to beat Leeds quite comfortably.
Yeah. But then at Molineux, it was an awful game. Nothing much really happened. But Traore hit a shot from like 30 yards out, hit the bar and bounced off the back of Meslier.
Yeah.
So it's no goal. So in short, we got lucky. We got a deflected goal and an own goal.
Yeah.
Both 1-0s.
We've also done the double over Leeds. Better than them both games as well.
Well, I mean, Leeds are just sort of that team that will literally just, beat you 5-0 or just be absolutely terrible and just let you walk all over him. Like,
Yeah. I like Leeds, I like them, but they've been much better recently, though, I think.
yeah.
So both times
They've been a
we
lot more
played them-
sensible.
Both times we played them, we were much better than them.
Yeah. But who are your rivals for next season? Talking about Leeds, like I mean, I don't think Leeds are going to be challenging for
Obviously,
Europe.
like not West Brom, but he means like teams.
Yeah,
that
no.
challenge
It'd be
games.
like
Yeah.
West Ham maybe.
Mm.
Yeah.
West Ham are a tough one because I don't know how Europe would affect you, but like West.
It depends who you bring in this summer as well.
Yeah.
What the transfer window's like, how
Yeah.
much Moyes is going to get back.
And whether you actually get through the qualifiers.
But really, you're looking at it going to being like
Everton,
Wolves,
Arsenal, Spurs,
Arsenal, Spurs, West Ham.
especially if Spurs.
Especially if Kane goes from
Leeds
Tottenham.
Kane, yeah.
That I don't even know if they're getting that bracket. They've been so poor this season with Kane. Take his 22 goals out, and they don't. I mean, I'd like to see the statistics on that.
Manager's going to be a massive thing for
Oh,
Spurs.
if they keep Ryan Mason, they could go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they get a good manager in and keep Kane, then they'll be above us. But like,
Yeah.
if they don't get a good manager in, they get another poor
And
point.
I know Boyd would like be shouting Aston Villa at the screen right now, but I mean, if they
I
keep
mean-
Grealish, they're being a couple good signings in. They'll be there and
Yeah.
thereabouts. But if Grealish goes, I think he might stay for at least another year, just to try and see what goes on. If Villa don't get a top half finish next season, though, he'll be off.
I think it'll be pretty similar to this season. I just think hopefully we'll be closer and more in that fight.
Yeah, and then
I mean, would you buy a big name striker in the summer just to as that insurance, just in case Jimenez just isn't the Jimenez
If
that we
we
know?
do, we're gonna have three £30 million or £35 million strikers in a one striker formation.
Yeah.
Or like, whether we play 4 at the back or 5 at the back, we only ever play one striker, which
Yeah.
is
And I don't think Nuno is going to be brave enough to go for like a 4-4-2 or something, is he?
no, I doubt it.
I think a 4-4-2 would work quite well with Jimenez sort of doing the knockdowns and Fabio Silva with a bit of pace in behind. But
what about going for like one of the relegated strikers? That's not very. I'm thinking about it, there's not many good ones actually.
The ones that I think it'd be better just looking at the Championship, maybe.
If Brentford don't go down, but Ivan Toney's going to be sought after.
Yeah.
So yeah, my last question for you, Ryan, before we move on to the quiz and some Prem predictions, is Fabio Silva. What is your opinion on him? Because he's had mixed reports. He's had a bit better reports recently, but when you signed him, everyone was a bit confused with that as a backup striker for that much money. But what are your thoughts on him?
When we initially signed him, I was buzzing because I was like, obviously 35 million is a lot for backup, but he's got so much potential, and it's obviously that name as well. Like, he is one of these wonder kids that
he's got a great name for a footballer,
people
doesn't he?
know.
Yeah.
Fabio Silva's great
Like,
name.
I sort of thought he'd end up at Porto for another 2 years, and then end up going to like Madrid or Barca as a backup striker. But to get him early, I was excited, and he's obviously not going to play. Jimenez is our best player.
Yeah, that's the reports I heard. Is that you literally just bought him, just expected him to literally sit on the bench for the whole season, play with the reserves or whatever, maybe come on in the cup games or something. So just don't play him, just don't rush him. And then suddenly Jimenez gets injured, and it's like, he's our only striker now.
He played about 10 minutes of football before Jimenez got injured.
Yeah.
So I thought in hindsight, it's way too much in the backup, but it would have worked fine when we have one game a week and Jimenez playing every week.
Mm.
But now, obviously, he's not a £35 million striker at the minute. That's obvious for everyone to see.
Yeah, but I mean, in the day, he is
But
19.
he's 18,
isn't
yeah.
he? Is he 18?
Yeah, when we bought him, he was 17.
Well,
okay, never mind. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we are a bit harsh on him.
Yeah,
He's 18.
Dan Peracked him all that low back in the under 21s when he is 3 years under 21. Was under 23. He's under Mountain Rice and they were 22, but I don't know.
And he has improved quite considerably over the season. Like,
wow, at his age 18,
yeah,
he could be one. He's definitely one for the future. I think people's had it was just the price tag that put people off. If you bought him for like 10 million,
no one would care.
and they were like 10 million for 17-year-old.
And it's one of them where it's like he's so young, you don't know how to play with him. Like, is he a fast in behind? Does he want to come to feet? Does he want to be a big target man? Like, he's not even going to know. So how are you going to build a team around him? Like,
I think it's probably invaluable experience actually now, and he'll go back to the bench next season.
Out on loan, maybe.
Depends if we sign another striker.
Yeah, back to Portugal. I think actually Championship for him because it's better than Portuguese
I think
league.
Championship might be good for him as well because one of his big problems is he looks weak.
Yeah.
So going in the Championship, he'll have to.
Physical.
Yeah,
if
he'll have to be a bit more physical.
I mean,
he's
17, 18. When you were 17, 18, 17, you're not playing, and
Yeah. I mean, things like that. I think Mason Mount really benefited from the Championship just because he was just. I remember my brother we had on last week said at the beginning of the Championship season, Mount was just so weak. He was just getting pushed off the ball all the time, and then he sort of there's 46 games, so you've just got to progress and you just got to build your strength up. You just got to build your game awareness up, and I think like. Fabio Silva could do something like that. He'll struggle the first month or so just because everyone will just be battering him. But if you get into your stride in the Championship, it's a great experience for anybody.
Yeah.
It depends on whether we sign another striker.
Yeah.
And whether, to be fair, Fabio Silva will want to go down after playing so much Premier League football this season.
If he's not going to play though, if Jimenez is playing every
he
game,
seems to have that's one thing with him. He seems to be really down to earth and like attitude wise, he's got it all. Like he's really humble.
That's good.
He played for the under-23s in the John's Trophy, the Checker Trophy. I can't remember what
it's Papa John's this year.
Yeah. He played one game against Doncaster, I think it was, scored 2 goals, 1-2-0, looked the best on the pitch. And he was interviewed after by like Wolves TV or whatever, and they were sort of saying, what's it like playing with do you feel like you should be in the first team? And he's just sort of like, no, I've got to work my way up. Like
all these people he's playing with are his age as well.
Just like whoever I'm playing, whether the manager wants me playing here or with the first team, just got to give 100% effort and do my best, and it will come.
I mean, if you're 17, he can't be like, no, I want to be playing every week.
We had a player like that.
Yeah.
And now he's gone on to good things, but like.
Well, not really.
Goncalves. Pedro Goncalves.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Gibbs White.
No, Goncalves. That was.
Oh yeah, Goncalves. That's something we haven't talked about.
Do we have to talk about him?
He's tearing up.
Yeah, he is.
So if you sign him back now, that'd be another 40 million.
We won't.
Him
and Nuno.
The sporting fans say he's better than Bruno Fernandes actually.
Potentially.
But they're probably just saying that because they're his player. He's currently there. And Sporting are quite a salty fan base. Remember when Patricio left? They sent him a load of abuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just got to not compare him to another 17-year-old that's absolutely the best in the world in his age. I saw you, Jude Bellingham.
If he doesn't look any better in like 2-3 years, like with either more experience with us or a Championship loan or something like that, if he still looks the same player, then you might start to think, have we made a big mistake? But he's 18, like we can't make any. I'm not making any judgments yet.
Yeah.
And he's visibly improved in one season, so it is there. It's just seeing how it does for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
It's just how football works nowadays, isn't it? Everybody wants an 18-year-old doing well, don't they? Nobody buys 27-year-olds in the prime like the old days.
It's the potential value of him, and potentially how good he could be. Like, we needed a backup striker, but we knew that we had a similar problem to Spurs with getting a backup striker to Kane. In that Jimenez is our best player by. Like
no one's going to be playing.
He's too good that our backup striker is not going to get any minutes.
Yeah.
So signing
Chelsea this summer.
Yeah, signing a 17-year-old made sense.
Yeah.
That he would be happy to ease his way in. But obviously that's just not how it's worked.
No.
So.
Okay, yeah. So, you've had everything there. I think we've covered everything over Wolves really. We'll get Ryan on again for the start of next season to talk about Wolves again. I mean, he can come on again whenever he wants, but talk about Wolves specifically, see how they're doing. It would be interesting to see what happens with them and everything.
See how their summer goes as well.
So yeah, now we've got our weekly quiz, and as if you've been following every week, which you have, then you're really big socialer, as now we're calling our fans socialists. Yeah.
The socialists.
The socialists.
Although I think that name might be taken.
Yeah, no, we're not socialists. We're not socialists.
No.
Any political party is up for your opinions. But anyway, if you've been following every quiz, I think we haven't been doing a quiz every week, but so I think it's 6-0 to us, Dan, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, so no one's beaten us yet, Ryan.
Oh, no.
So if you beat Dan this week, there's literally no pressure on you because everyone has lost.
Yeah.
So if you lose,
and
then
we rig the quizzes every week.
Dan already knows every answer.
So I've got no
he gets a few wrong as well, just to make sure. And then that's why it always goes to a tie break because Dan manage to
Dan knows the tie break.
Yeah, we don't want to make it too obvious, do we?
Yeah.
So when you say you haven't got a tie break, what you mean is just to tell them the answer quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the tie break, it's really weird how often this goes to a tie break, isn't it? I mean, there's only 5 questions each, but I think like it's 4 out of 6 times it's gone to a tie break, or at least down to the last question. I think the only time where someone absolutely stormed it was the first one, Dan against Jack. But yeah, anyway, we'll get back to the quiz now. Right, so we're back for the quiz. Ryan, as you're the guest, would you like to go second or first? I don't know why I say it in order. First or second?
I'll go second.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay. So Daniel.
Yep.
This quiz, as you said earlier, was all about the season that's just gone. So the real first question is, starting off, not too difficult. Who has been Sheffield United's top goal scorer this season? And then Ryan, do you know it?
Well, I mean, is it the obvious
That's
answer?
an idea.
Is it the obvious answer? Yeah. Well, it is, isn't it? It's David McGoldrick.
It is David McGoldrick. Yeah.
I was just thinking. I mean, Ollie McBurney is maybe one of the worst strikers the Premier League's ever seen. So it wasn't him.
And it might have been at Jefferson if he played more often, but he doesn't play.
No.
So. I think he's got like 7 actually. He's not done too badly considering they're rock bottom.
Yep.
So Dan goes 1-up. Ryan, your question is, who has been Brighton's top goal scorer this season?
Oh.
You can have a couple seconds, 30 seconds to think about it. Let the viewers think about it, the answer as well. If you're screaming the answer at the screen, then well done. Or if you're wrong, then not well done. This one's a little bit harder than Daniel's question.
Should have taken the first.
I did give you the option to choose question 1.
I don't think he's very good, but I think it must be. Is it Neil Maupay?
I don't think it is.
Who would you say, Daniel?
I would say Trossard.
Well, it isn't Trossard, but it is Neil Maupay.
Oh,
So
okay. Never mind then.
Ryan levels it up. I think he's got like 8 goals, so it's not there's not many out-and-out goal
He was
scorers.
He's got about-
okay
he's got
earlier in
about-
the season.
yeah,
I
he's
think
got about
Welbeck's caught
15
up with him
expected
a
goals.
little bit,
Yeah.
but Maupay, he misses a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, Daniel. Who scored the first goal of the season? Can you remember the game?
Well, it was Liverpool-Leeds, finished 4-3, and Mo Salah scored a hat-trick, but did they take the lead? It might have been Bamford. I can't remember who took the lead. I'll just kick myself if it's not Mo Salah. Mo Salah.
I thought the first game of the season was Arsenal-Fulham.
Yep, 12:30, and then it was Crystal Palace, Southampton, then Liverpool, Leeds.
So you're wrong.
So I was
So
wrong.
it's actually Alexander Lacazette.
Well, I didn't get that. Well, I mean,
Mo Salah did score first in that game, so I was right in my own mind, just not for the question.
You just didn't get the right game.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this question makes it easier for you, Ryan.
Didn't Lacazette score the first goal a couple of seasons ago as well against Leicester?
You might not. I'm not sure.
Not that it's got anything to do with this question,
No.
but
Your question is, who got the first assist of the season? This is to take the lead.
Oh, Arsenal. Was that Willian?
It was Willian.
I feel like answering those questions back to back sort
He
of
got 3 assists in that game.
gave
didn't
you a
he? He
bit
got
of a
3.
help.
It gave him a bit of an
Give a
advantage.
bit you of help there. You should have just
Um,
not mentioned the Fulham, and you would have gone for the Liverpool game.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried to make the questions so you get an easier and hard question. I try to make the questions fairly even. So Daniel, this is to tie it up. Who has the most assists for Everton this season?
That's assist for Everton.
Try and think about it.
It is Luca Dean.
It is Luca Digne.
Because it's not James, which would be the obvious answer, obviously.
So
Dean's only played like half the games as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, so he's tied it up here now. Ryan, who has the most assists for Newcastle this season? You can say the obvious one.
I don't know the obvious one. I've got two names.
I don't know who the obvious one is either.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I have no idea. I'll just take a get. Miguel Almiron?
No.
No.
It is actually Dan.
Well, I think St. Maximan's the obvious answer, but I'd probably go for Callum Wilson.
It is Callum Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, just because he does everything for him.
Yeah, it is.
I was gonna
I
say
think,
something
I think he's only got 5, but he's still their top assist.
Yeah, he literally
this
just does
season.
everything. He's like Harry Kane.
Okay. So Daniel,
Yep.
this question you're gonna have to give me 10 teams.
Right.
You get 0 lives. So if you get one wrong, the whole question's wrong.
Okay.
But you have to give me. Don't start yet. I need to get the teams up. I'll tell you when you can go. So you can name me the 10 teams that have scored 50 plus goals this season.
Man City.
I mean, let me just get teams up, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Man City are
Yeah,
there.
I think that's a safe bet.
Clubs. Man City are there, yeah.
Yeah, I think Man United are first, aren't they?
No, they're second
All right.
to Man City.
Liverpool.
Is Man United a guess?
Huh?
Well, Man United.
Well, yeah, Man United. Yeah,
Man United. Yeah, Liverpool are there.
Liverpool. It's got to be Tottenham.
They're there.
I think Leeds have done it. So I think they scored 15, conceded 15. It might be they've scored 40, conceded 40. That's not a guess. I don't think it's Chelsea. You know. I don't think Chelsea are there. Leicester.
Leicester are there. So you've just named the top 5.
Top 5.
So you've got 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 to go.
Right, I'll just go for Leeds. Get them out of the way.
Leeds are there.
Yep.
So you've got 4 more.
Right, how Villa done it?
Yeah, you said Man City, Man United, Leicester, Liverpool, Spurs. No, he's got Leeds. Leeds are 6th as well. So
Yeah, I was going to say
I'm pretty sure they've also conceded 50 as well.
Yeah.
Have Villa done it? No, I'm just terrified to say Chelsea because I don't think we have. Everton.
Unfortunately, you've lost this question because Everton are not there. They've scored 47. They're 12th.
Right.
You said City on 78, United on 71, Leicester 66, Liverpool 66, Spurs 64, Leeds 59, and West Ham 59, Chelsea 57, Arsenal 53, and Villa 53. So it's literally a top 10, but just swap Villa and Everton around.
Yeah.
So I gave you no lives because it's a much easier question than Ryan's, which is now.
Oh dear. I've got no chance then.
But you have 2 lives, Ryan.
Okay.
So yours, it's harder, but I've given you 2 lives. Okay, I'll let Dan see the top 10 list. Name me the 10 teams with the most passes this season.
What?
You get 2 lives, so you get 2 wrong answers.
Man City.
Yes, they're number 1.
Surely Man United.
Yep, they're there. Number 4.
Liverpool.
Yeah. Number 2.
Leicester.
Yeah, they're number 6.
Leeds.
Yep. 8. So you're halfway through. You've got 2 lives and 7 more guesses basically to get 5.
West Ham.
No,
You're not.
we're not there. So you've got 1 more life left.
A lot of passes. Chelsea.
Yep.
Yeah.
So who have you said? Sorry, you
I
said
said
6.
City, United, Liverpool, Leicester, Leeds, Chelsea.
Okay. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Most pass. I'm going to say Wolves.
You're not
We
there.
have a lot of the ball. We don't play
You're
well.
not there.
We're not there.
You were 12th.
We're 12.
West Ham are 15th, by the way.
Right, fair enough.
So you've got no lives now. You've got to guess 3.
I've got 4.
4, sorry, yeah.
Dear. Who passes the ball? a lot? Aston Villa?
No.
No. So the ones you didn't get.
You got 2 hard ones in there.
You got Arsenal,
Yeah.
Tottenham,
Spurs?
and why I gave you 2 lives because actually Dan would have got that one because he knows about their style of play. But Brighton were there, and then 10th was Fulham.
Yeah.
I
So I never
didn't-
guessed
I
Fulham. I mean,
didn't-
Fulham
Yeah.
love a dribble. I didn't realise they loved a pass.
Yeah.
As well.
I never go for them.
So Fulham surprisingly are there as well.
What's the score? Is it 3-3?
2-2.
2-2.
So you both got 2 questions wrong and 2 questions right. So it is now it's looking like it's going to a tiebreaker once again. But this one is going to be solely related to your teams.
Okay.
We're sticking with passing.
Oh dear.
Dan,
Yep.
who has made the most passes for you this season?
I mean, this could literally be anybody. I mean,
obviously you've got Thiago Silva, you've got Azpilicueta, you've got Jorginho. Those are the names that straight away are in my head.
Okay.
So it's just who's played the most minutes, because Jorginho hasn't played a lot before Tuchel. Azpilicueta obviously was rotated a lot with James. I'd say Thiago Silva probably is the most likely there.
Is that your answer?
Thiago Silva or Jorginho? Now for a 50. I'm going to say Thiago Silva just played more minutes.
You're correct.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So you've taken the lead. So it's all on this question, Ryan. And I'll give you exactly the same question.
Oh,
Who is Wolves
not what I
player with the most passes
not
this
what I wanted.
season?
It's really not what I wanted.
So this is to level up for a tie break.
It could be any of the defenders or any of the midfielders.
So you-
See, if we played a back three all year, I would take on Cody. He's right in the middle of everything, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he gets as much.
I really want a tie break, by the way.
Neves gets more. Of the,
You haven't made one. I'm going to try and find one.
Neves gets more of the ball in the back four. We did play a lot of a back five as well. It could be someone completely random, and if it is, then fair enough.
Who are you going for? I'm going to have to push you for an answer.
Cody or Neves? I'll go Connor Cody. Is it Ruben Neves?
The answer to the question you were hoping to get was Ruben Neves.
Oh,
so Ryan's
dear.
throwing the quiz.
I mean, to be fair, I would have never guessed Neves. I always go for
It
centre backs
has
and that
to
sort of
be
stuff.
one of
Yeah.
those two.
Just because when you usually have possession, you're just passing it around.
I
the
said
back,
the
don't you?
logic as well. I don't know why I didn't do it.
Yeah,
In a back,
you literally said it all out. And I was like, it's not Cody. It's not.
In a
Surely
back-
it's Neves, and you changed your mind last minute.
we have still played back five for half the season, and
You didn't
Cody,
change your mind as well.
Cody gets so much of the ball in the back
Yeah.
five, but in the back four it goes through. Everything goes through Neves, not Cody. Oh, that's annoying.
Well, there we go. Ryan's a good try, good battle. He didn't quite make the tie-break question, but he has fallen short
Yeah, that's some
for the
tough
guests
questions.
again.
Tough questions.
Yeah, they were. But you got 3 out of 5, and Ryan got 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
And you were close on some of them as well. So it was some good guesses. Let us know how you did at home. But yet again, it's now 7-0 to the hosts. We're going the whole season unbeaten. We're going to be the whole year even till Christmas unbeaten. That's our plan. But Riley yet again has fallen short, along with
Just everybody else.
Jack, George, Scott,
Jamie.
Jacob, Boyd, and Jamie. Yeah, and now Ryan. So everyone's falling short. If you think you can beat me or Dan, I'm not saying we're that good. We have got a lot of questions wrong. Most of them have been quite lucky wins, but we still manage to do it every week somehow. But yeah, that's the quiz for this week. I hope you've enjoyed that. We're going to now move on to some Prem predictions. Hopefully you can maybe win them, and we'll see how you do next week, Ryan, to make up for your quiz loss.
Yep. New Prem predictions and then our end of season awards.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a different video, but
Yeah. Well, so we have got the first. This is just the last game of the season.
games written down there?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the final 10 games of the season.
There's a lot on the line here, really. There's a Europa League. Well, there's not a lot. There's Champions League and there's Europa League.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the
The
title's
relegated
done and the
Teams are
relegated.
relegated,
I mean, the relegated teams were done about 4 months ago, weren't they?
so the title really.
Yeah. So we've got the first game, Arsenal-Brighton. Arsenal trying to get to the Conference League. Brighton, absolutely nothing to play for. I feel like Arsenal will just finish the season off brightly. I think they'll probably win 2-1, maybe 2-0 or 2. I'm going 2-1.
Arsenal Brighton. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 1-1. I think Arsenal are gonna do classic fashion and bottle Conference League with a 1-1 home draw. I think they played Brighton at home a few seasons back last year this season. And I think did they draw or lose? I can't remember what it was, but they definitely didn't win.
Yeah.
There's
There's that video of Basuma laughing at them.
Yeah.
I think Brighton will be quite buoyed by beating City. So I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, and then we've got a big game.
Because we need to secure top 4. We've got Villa versus Chelsea. I mean, I can see this one being quite nervy. Because I think Villa are a decent team. They play some decent football. And, we might get a bit panicky. We might just be, on the beaches a bit worried about the Champions League final, not wanting to get injured. But I'm still going to go for a 2-1 Chelsea win. I think it's going to be like the Leicester game where we'll be 2-0 up and just sort of, squeaky bum time, concede like an 87th minute goal or something.
It's a tough one because it could get you anyway. Chelsea could either like be really up for it and just turn up and smash Villa, or the nerves will kick in and you can see him being shaky and just throw it all away. But I'm gonna go 2-2.
Okay.
I'm gonna go in the middle.
1-0 Tuchel masterclass.
Yep. I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind it. Fulham Newcastle. I mean I remember just
Can
being
we
so
all do our
excited.
classic 0-0?
Yeah, I just remember being so excited about that game when Newcastle looked terrible and Fulham were sort of on a bit of a bounce. It was like that game could have decided relegation, but yeah, I mean that's going to be a 1-1, isn't it? Just a 1-1.
I'll go 0-0.
Yeah.
Actually, let's go 3-0. End of season. Defenders aren't going to care. 3-0.
I was going to say 3-1. 3-1 Newcastle.
Okay.
Right.
Willock hat-trick.
Leeds West Brom. I'll go 3-0 Leeds.
Leeds with their fans back. They're if one team is going to win with their fans, it's going to be Leeds.
Yeah, they want to show off, won't they? Have a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4-0 Leeds because I think West Brom are just going to be down from their last 2 defeats where they played quite well.
Didn't Allardyce confirm that he's not staying next season?
Yeah,
as well?
exactly. So they've not got a manager there who's staying. They've not got anything really. A lot of the players probably got their heads out the door as well.
I'll go 4-1.
4-1.
4-1. Leicester Tottenham. I mean, this is probably the biggest game of the day, isn't it?
Massive.
It's Tottenham need to secure Europa League, and even if Leicester win, they're not guaranteed top 4, which is, I mean, pretty harsh, isn't it? After the season they've had, but I mean, if you offered them an FA Cup win and Europa League football before the season started, they would have absolutely bought the hand off. But
FA Cup's better than top 4 finish. I don't care what you say.
Especially for a club like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but a club like Leicester, I mean, it's their first ever FA Cup win. Like, it's going to mean so much to their fans. Obviously, I'm saying that as a neutral because I'm still pissed off that we lost, but whatever, that's fine. But I just feel like it will be quite a shame that Rodgers is going to have that on his resume if he bottles it 2 years in a row.
He also had he's got an FA Cup win. Like, it's not like other managers.
He's not going to cry himself to sleep, is he? He's just going to go, that's a bit annoying, we'll go again next season.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think they're probably going to win, to be honest. I think Tottenham just are poor. I think Leicester are going to win 2-1.
I'm going to go another draw, I think. I'm going to go 2-2.
Okay.
That means I think Chelsea are going to clinch Champions League on the fact that Leicester won't win either.
Leicester on the same points as Liverpool, aren't they?
Yeah, but
worse goal difference.
So I think Leicester will fly at them, and I'll go something different. I'll go 4-2 Leicester.
4-2.
Because they need to score goals.
Well, you could have gone for like an 8-0 or something to get them in.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do it though.
No.
But I'll go 4-2.
And then speaking of Liverpool, we've got Liverpool Palace. I mean, that's going to be quite a simple win, isn't it, really?
Anfield, Palace aren't going to show up.
I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool.
I'll go 3-0 Liverpool.
Man City Everton. I'm going to go 2-2. I reckon Man City are going to play like Scott Carson and everything, and then they're just going to be panicking about the Champions League final, aren't they? So yeah, I'll go for a 2-2.
Yeah, I remember thinking of this game. I was like, please, just City play their strongest team because it's going to be a title lifting game and then beat Everton. But now, unless Everton win 8-0 and we lose like 4-0, they're not finishing above us. There's literally no worry there, so I don't have to worry about it. So I'm actually going to back Everton now to win 1-0.
Okay.
Because City are going to now play their rubbish team. Well, they're going to have to play their. They're going to have to give De Bruyne then that's because he's some game time. He's not played in a while. But I'm still going to back Everton to win 1-0.
I still think they'll play a relatively okay team to get some because they don't want to completely lose all sharpness. So yeah, I'll go 2-1 City.
Okay. What have I doing backing Everton? Away from home though, they're quite good.
They are better away from home.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with my 1-0.
Then we got Sheffield United Burnley. I mean,
what a cracker! I know. I'm actually going to give my ticket at the weekend away and just sit at home and watch that instead.
Yeah. Do you think anybody in the country that's not a Sheffield United or Burnley fan is going to be watching that game?
No, because if they're not on at the same time, I might have it on in the background because every game's the same time. As literally,
I don't know if many Burnley fans will even watch it.
No, I mean
Sheffield United fans as well.
Let's go for a 4-0 Burnley. Chris Wood score all 4.
Yeah, I think that Burnley will win 2-0.
0-0, no one cares.
Yeah, fair enough. West Ham Southampton. I mean, what are you playing for? I'm sort of.
We need a point for Europa League football. We're 3 points above
just a
Tottenham
point, no matter what the other games are.
Yeah, we're 3 points above both of them, so we need a point to guarantee us Europa League football. We can lose because Everton's. If Tottenham don't win, then we'll probably still get Europa League football.
Right.
If Everton win, will probably still get Conference League or Europa League, depending if Tottenham don't win or not, because their goal difference is so much worse to ours. But saying that, we've got the fans back in. The players are going to be really enjoying themselves. Plus, we're playing a team that just don't care. And
I'm pretty sure they're like bottom of the form table.
Yeah, bottom of the form. I know they've been better recently. They won like 3 in a row, didn't they?
Yeah.
But they're still not. This is going to be like on the beaches for their players. They don't care.
I'll probably say 2-0 West Ham.
I'm going to go 2-0 as well. We don't really win games by more than 1 goal, but I'm going to back us to do it.
I'll go 2-1.
West Ham.
Yeah, 2-1 West Ham.
Right, and then Wolves Man United. I mean, a couple of seasons ago we would have gone for a shock Wolves win because that's why you used to play Man United like every 2 weeks.
Well, don't forget Man United have Villarreal like 3 days later.
Yeah, true.
So they might be
and they've got
like
seconds sewn up already, haven't they?
Van der Beek will probably play, and so I'm going to go because it's a nothing game for Man U. They could lose 8-0 and they wouldn't they wouldn't care.
Yeah. I'd still go for a 2-1 Man United.
I'm going to back Wolves and go 3-2 Wolves.
Just because I'm there and I hope we win, I'm going to go 3-2 Wolves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A bit exciting. So I think we probably predicted there that Chelsea and Liverpool are going to get top 4. Leicester and West Ham are going to get Europa League. And
I think you said Arsenal if they win to get Conference League.
Well, no, it'd be Everton and Arsenal could overtake Tottenham.
If Arsenal win and Everton and Tottenham both fail to win, then Arsenal get you Conference League.
That would be hilarious if Arsenal finish above Tottenham. So that would be hilarious.
That would be funny.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
But I think Tottenham will get it.
Yeah.
I think they'll get it. But Conference League. But yeah, that's our predictions and quiz done. I think we're going to be doing a separate video for our rewards. Awards.
End of season awards. Yeah.
Is it no awards, not rewards? I mean, it's sort of the same thing. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. We've had a good time chatting about Wolves and doing a quiz. Hope you liked it. If you have, drop a like and subscribe and give us a follow as well. Ryan, do you want to say here's the outro and then point anywhere?
Here's the outro.